Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Well, it is currently, let's see, 4:10 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. We just got back from brunch. I have my take-home coffee with me right here from Cafe Pas de Choux. And it is the Cafe Pas de Choux blend that I am drinking today. So good. I had first a cup of hazelnut while I was there, and then I switched over to the Pas de Choux blend. Sometimes I like flavored coffee and sometimes I don't. And today I wasn't really in the mood for it. I think it's because I have been typically daily just drinking regular flavored coffee with like oat milk in it. That being said, we did go to the grocery store afterwards, Fresh Thyme and Kroger, and I purchased what do you call it? It was pistachio mint or pistachio milk creamer. I just wanted to try it. It was only 15 calories and real healthy oat milk. It's oat milk, but it's like pistachio mint or pistachio something, which is interesting because I don't usually like that flavor, but I was like, this is something different. I'm gonna kind of try this. So anyway, we went to brunch, and Alex got tomato artichoke soup because they don't currently have the chili that he likes. And then he got the Cuban breakfast and some coffee. I got the omelet you can't refuse minus bacon, and add horseradish, add herb cream cheese with an everything bagel toasted with cream cheese and crispy potatoes. And I also had a small orange juice because I love their orange juice there. It's like freshly squeezed and it has tons of pulp in it, which I love pulp in my orange juice. And yeah, that was our brunch. We had a really nice brunch. And then I needed to go and get some stuff for this week. So Alex took me to Fresh Thyme. Really, I just needed coffee stuff there that I have a hard time finding other places. It's these little cans of coffee that I really like. Like when you first go into Fresh Thyme, they have all of these like probiotic drinks and cans of coffee and like cold brew and nitro brews and stuff like that. So I went in and I bought a can for each day, and then I also got some of the Starbucks medium brew. I've really been liking that lately. So I got some of that. What else did I get there? I got something else. 2 of these pre-made salads. Fresh Thyme has these really delicious pre-made salads that have like chickpeas and carrot little slices in them, and it comes with dressing, and I really like them. So I got 2 of those. Then there was something else that I got. I can't remember. That's where I got the creamer. And then he took me to the grocery store, and I got M&Ms. The package that comes like peanut butter, peanut, and then just regular M&Ms. It's like a mix. And then I got Haagen-Dazs ice cream because I was really craving this old Ben & Jerry's that I used to get that was like, I can't remember, Chubby Hubby is what it was called. It was my favorite Ben & Jerry's back in the day, and it was like chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels, I think. It was so delicious, but they didn't have that kind, so I, Haagen-Dazs right next to it was called like chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels or something, so I got that. And then I am obsessed, you guys, with these Haagen-Dazs bars. They're like on a stick, and they're called Dulce de Leche, I think, and they're supposed to be like, taste like, why can't I think of what those, oh, it's the Mexican dessert. I can't think of what it's called. It starts with a C. But anyway, so if you're looking for something delicious, those are like 5 stars to me. They're so good. So yeah, that was our brunch, and then we did that, and Alex is like really, really tired, so he's taking a nap right now. And well, let me kind of give you guys a little background of what happened, because the last time I vlogged was Friday, and I told you like what the plans for the weekend were, and that he was going to Jubilation that night, and then he was going to Pride Day yesterday with friends and things like that. So that's not exactly what ended up happening. Well, he did go to Jubilation, and he was there for about 4 hours, and then he even messaged me. He was like, sent me this video of he and his friend like sitting there and just kind of like having a glass of wine and having a good time. And the next thing I knew, I was like making the bed and whatever, and so it would be nice for him when he came home. And he called me and he was like, we're getting an Uber home. And at that point it was like kind of raining pretty heavily. And so I thought, well, maybe it's because, and I said, is it because of the rain? And he was like, no, he's like, I'm having this like excruciating pain in my back. And it's kind of like shooting around to the front, to my groin area. And I was like, babe, like what's going on? And he was like, I don't know if it's kidney stones. I don't know if it's appendicitis. I don't know, what's going on. He has a family history of kidney stones. So he came home, and by the time he came home, he was just like burning up and drenched in sweat. And he was like, before he had gotten home, he texted me and he was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. So he had already called his mom, because I can't drive right now. So he called his mom, and so she was on her way over here to pick us up to go to the hospital. So he put on sweats and a t-shirt, and then we went to the hospital. It was interesting because we actually got in really, really quick through the emergency room. He was kind of fearful that we would have to wait like hours and hours and hours, and we didn't. Like he registered, and then we sat there for like 10 minutes. They took his vitals and they put us back into a room. So they did blood work on him, and then they took him to get a CAT scan. A doctor came in and talked to him, and the nurses, they were fantastic. They were really, really nice. But the emergency room wasn't that busy on, this was Friday evening anyway. We got there about 10 or 10:30, and we left there about 1. So anyway, they did a CAT scan on him, and then they also needed to get a urine screen, and he was just like really having a hard time. Like they were also giving him fluids as well. So the doctor came in finally and was like, you have like several kidney stones, but the one that we saw that's like causing some kind of blockage is like less than 4 millimeters, so you should be able to pass it on your own. So they given him pain medication. The only way he could really get any kind of relief from the pain was to like sit on his knees and kind of bend over. I felt so bad for him. It just was like, he was just in excruciating pain. So the bird just keeps on flying in and out and in and out. It's so sweet. So they sent him home with some, a different kind of like medicines, like a treatment plan basically, to follow up with a urologist early this week. And then he also has to, like, they sent him with this medicine to like help him go to the bathroom more. And that he's supposed to drink tons of water and stay hydrated. They actually gave him 2 bags of fluid. And so we came home, and he just like crashed immediately as soon as he came home. He did not go to Pride Day yesterday, and but he just like drank tons and tons and tons of water. And so yesterday he felt better. He started feeling better, and so yeah, that's where we're at. And so we just kind of hung around the house yesterday and didn't really do a whole lot. When we got home on Friday night, just made sure that he was like in bed and like ready to go to sleep. And I was like wired at that point for sound. Like I was just like, I can't go to bed. So I ended up staying up, and I don't know, I finished watching some show. Hold on a second, I'll tell you what I watched. Because I have, been keeping a list of all of my shows. Oh, I finished watching Keeper of the Ashes on Hulu. That was about the Girl Scout killings outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1977. It was a fantastic documentary. Kristen Chenoweth is in a lot of it. I actually downloaded some of her music. I've never seen Wicked, and I've always kind of like, I'm not a huge musical fan, but there are musicals that I kind of wish I had seen like in the theater, like Hamilton and Wicked are 2 of them. Even though I'm not like a fan of musicals, I still wish I had seen those. But Kristen Chenoweth is from this town, and so she was supposed to be at the camp that it happened at, and she got sick and she didn't end up going. And so like she knew this one girl from school. Like they weren't friends, but she like knew her in the hallway, and the girl's mom was like a teacher at the school. And So she's kind of like woven, she's kind of the narrator of the story, so to speak. And it talks about how like she's just thought about this for years and years and years, and she hasn't really been able to get this out of her mind. Before I get into this TV show, I just want to say that I had posted something about Alex on the Vloggerinos group, and then Alex also posted something on Instagram, and I just received so many messages from people saying thank you, or saying, you know, like, hope he feels better, and yada, yada, yada. And I just want to say thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. You know, whenever we're going through something, you guys are just unbelievably supportive, and it really just, it means a lot. And I was just telling Alex, I said, before I came out here to vlog, I said I'm going to go vlog because he's laying down to take a nap. And I said, I got so many messages in the Vloggerinos group, you know, from people. And he was like, what did they say? And I was like, they were just wishing that, you know, you got better and whatnot. So he was like, oh, that's so nice. It just really means a lot to us. I just want you to know that. It's like, I don't know, it's surreal. And then people, you know, share like, oh, I've gone through that too. And I got so many messages from people saying like that they had kidney stones and, you know, like what they went through and all that. So, so yeah, so it was about these Girl Scout murders that they had really never, like, they caught the guy, but like, anyway, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. So they wanted to find conclusively like what had happened. At first I was kind of like, this whole Kristen Chenoweth backstory is kind of cheesy. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, if you watch Captive Audiences, which is about Steven Stayner, at one point they have the actors that played the, it is so sunny all of a sudden. The actors that played the parts in the made-for-TV show, they have them like read, like, it's corny, okay? It just, to me, it doesn't work for the show. And I kind of felt that way with Kristen Chenoweth. I kind of was like, I understand that she was like in the town that this happened and whatever, and she was moved by this, but like, why are we having her as a backstory? But at the end, you know, they talk about her, like, she has this camp that she runs in the same town, and it's like based on music, and it's just, it's a really, like, she ties it up so beautifully at the end. It's really cool. So anyway, if you haven't seen Keeper of the Ashes, it's on Hulu. It's really an interest. I'd never heard of this case before. So then that was, look at my cheesy hairdo. That was Friday night. And then Saturday, Alex just slept a lot and rested, and so did I. And because I stayed up super late watching that, into that. And then I talked to Caroline yesterday, and she was telling me about how she had watched, I want to make sure I get the name of this right. I just finished it. I think it's called Stay Sweet. Wait, hold on a second. Keep Sweet and Pray. Why did I think it had something that said something about obey in it? It's on Netflix. Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey. I need to change that. Hold on. Do you guys hear the bird up there? And it's about the FLDS and Warren Jeffs. It's this 4-part documentary. And the FLDS is the Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints. It's a outer sect of the Mormon Church. It's so it's not like typical Mormons don't believe what the FLDS Church believes in. They believe in plural marriage or polygamy and all this kind of like marrying of child brides and stuff like this. It was so anyway. So yesterday, Alex and I, he was like really craving pizza. I think my neighbor across the street is grilling out cheeseburgers. I told him yesterday, I said, listen, I am not a meat eater anymore, but I said, it smells so good when you grill out over there. It's like, I can totally, it's like, it smells like cheeseburgers. So, Alex wanted to get pizza, so we got pizza. And I only had like, it's so interesting, like I can't eat anymore the way that I ate. Even like today at brunch, like I ate my omelet, but I ate like half of my potatoes, if even that, and I ate only 1/2 of my bagel. I just can't keep, and I told him, I said, I'm not even going to bring it home because I have all that pizza at home. So Alex and I, when we get pizza, we always get like a pizza each. And so, because we like completely different things. And he always gets just a cheese pizza with extra cheese, and I get And he likes the whole pizza to himself too, because then he can warm up, you know, the extras. And I get a cheese pizza with onion and pineapple on it. Don't judge. Don't judge. I love pineapple on my pizza. I used to get, back in the day, sausage and pineapple. That's what I would eat on my pizza. I never liked like ham on my pizza. I don't know why. Or hamburger. I don't like that. So we got that and we watched RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. We got caught up on that. And then I was like, do you want to watch... I'd heard so much about that movie Fire Island. That's on Hulu? I think it's on Hulu. And if you don't know what Fire Island is this island outside of New York. And it's known for, like, in the summers, like, gay men and lesbians go there and just, like, party, and they rent a house, or they have a house there, and it's been really, really famous through the years, as far as, like, a lot of famous writers would go there and stay in the summer and stuff like that. But it's also been known as, like, for a lot of partying and a lot of just all kinds of sex and stuff like that. In fact, back in the day, there was a movie that I loved, and it was called Longtime Companion. I don't know what year it came out, but it was like one of the very first gay movies. I think I identified with the friend group that was in there. I want to see what year it came out. Hold on a second. There was this guy in there, and his nickname in the movie was Fuzzy, and I used to have such a crush on him. But it's not Bruce Campbell. What's the Campbell? Something Campbell is the name of the actor that's in it. What year did it come out? Oh, it came out in 1990. So May 11th. It came out like literally like a month, 6 weeks before I came out. Campbell Scott. That's who was in it. Who was the guy that I used to call? Oh, here, Stephen Caffrey. God, he doesn't look anything like he does now. I used to have such a crush on him. And I'll show you what he looked like. He had like a beard and stuff. Well, this is not a good picture of him because it's so dated, but you can see it's like a beard and... But anyway, oh, here he is. This is a good picture of him. So this is what he looked like back in the day. And then Campbell Scott gets a crush on him, and the whole thing starts because, like, how it starts is, like, Campbell Scott and his friends are staying at this house that they all get together, and so he's, like, gone to the grocery store in the morning, and The Tide is High by Blondie is playing in the background. I've seen this movie so many times I can't even tell you. And he passes... Or no, it's Fuzzy, I think, that goes to get the stuff, and Campbell Scott is like out for a run on the beach in the morning. They pass each other and they keep on looking back at each other, and in the background is The Tide is High by Blondie. The movie is really about a group of friends and how they are affected by the onset of AIDS in New York City, and how one dies after another, and it's... The end of it is so unbelievable, and the end of it takes place on it. It starts on Fire Island and it ends on Fire Island. So anyway, you know, like, and I had also watched some documentary because there's supposedly this place in I've never been to Fire Island. There's supposedly this place called the Meat Rack, and the Meat Rack is like where men go late at night, and they just have like anonymous sex and don't even know each other, and it's like this famous place on Fire Island, but. It's interesting having seen Longtime Companion that came out in 1990, and it's really, I think it was supposed to take place like in the early 80s. Who's the one actress that's in it that I absolutely love her? She's so fantastic in it. Mary Louise Parker. Let me tell you what it says here. During the 1980s, a group of gay men and their straight female friend confront the spread of AIDS. Personal trainer Willie Campbell Scott watches the epidemic grow, advocating for wellness. Willie's friend John Dermot Mulroney is the first to be infected, but soon it becomes clear that a pandemic is underway in the gay community. Willie's boyfriend, Fuzzy, Stephen Caffrey, and his adopted sister, Lisa, Mary Louise Parker, look on as their friends and loved ones succumb to the disease. It is really, really good, but it is extremely depressing. And that had really been my only, I would say, experience seeing like Fire Island, except for when you watch like documentaries about like famous gay writers and stuff like that, like Chris Isherwood and his boyfriend and stuff like that. So this movie just came out, right, I think in time for Pride Day, and it's called Fire Island, and it's a group of gay friends that go to Fire Island, and they can't really afford to go there because it's so expensive, so they always stay with their friend, who is a lesbian. It's played by Margaret Cho, which is fantastic. I think that people kind of forget sometimes what a big deal Margaret Cho was to the gay community, and what a huge advocate she's been through the years, you know? And so to see her in the movie was really cool. They also talk a lot about like diversity within the gay community, and I think people think that at times there's just this overwhelming lack of acceptance, and there's no racism within the gay community, which is just an absolutely fat out lie. And so it addresses issues of that as well. And it's really about this group of friends and how one of them wants the other. The other one's like looking for like romance and fairy tale ending and love and all this kind of stuff. And his friend is just about like getting laid. And so he's like, you're going to get laid this week. And until you do, like, I'm not going to like have sex. And so it's like this storyline about all of that, and it was really cute. It was really adorable, you guys, and I feel like a lot of the gay movies that we have are just like so corny and so cheesy, and it wasn't. It felt like very mainstreamed. It felt like a gay rom-com that was done well. I thought it was adorable, and I thought it addressed issues without being like in your face, like, you know, like that's the thing. It's like if there are movies out there that talk about things in a light manner, then it's like they're not being addressed at all. And then if it's otherwise, it's like in your face, you know, like we have to talk about these issues. And it wasn't that. It was like it was like spread throughout, and I just thought it was really well done. So we watched that, and then by that point, I was so tired. I don't know why I am so tired all the time. Like, I can take a nap and then get up and then sleep 12 hours. Like, I am tired all the time. I'm going to my primary care physician this week, and so I'm going to ask him about that, about the side effects of these medicines that I'm on, and if any of them make me tired, or I'm just healing still. I don't know. So I laid down. Alex watched the first 2 episodes of First Kill on Netflix. He said he liked it. He said it was pretty good. And then I laid down from like 9:30, 10, I think, to like midnight. And then I got up. Somebody said in the comment section of my vlog, they said, I love that you like get up to watch TV shows. I do. It's my favorite thing. I love it. So I got up, and I didn't know really what I was going to watch. And so I was like, well, because Caroline watched, she said it was an older show. She watched The Serpent, and she said it was really, really good, so I wanted to watch that. Caroline and I like the same shows, so if she says she likes a show, I'm gonna like it, and I know that. Like, Tanya and I sometimes do, but Tanya really likes romantical stuff, too. So I'm not real down with all that sometimes. God, I can smell those burgers over there. They smell so good. And they always do like the whole 9 yards. Like they do burgers, corn on the cob, fries, potato salad. They do it all over there. So I got up and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. Keep sweet, pray, and obey. I'm going to watch one episode. No, I said I'm going to watch one episode of it. Speaking of picnic food, I got potato chips in my M&M's last night. I can hear him. So I was sitting out here and I watched this. You guys, I ended up watching all 4 episodes back to back. I could not believe how phenomenal it was. How well done it was. And just how interested in that story I am. I don't know. It's like I watched Under the Banner of Heaven, and then I watched The Deep End about Teal Swan. Which, let me just tell you, my opinion, whack job, okay? She has made, I talked about it the other day, right? But she has made all of these response videos on YouTube to the documentary, The Deep End, that came out. And I'm like, well, first of all, girl, you were the one that let this camera crew follow you around for 3 years. Because she's like, the third one's called Release the Footage. And I'm like, why don't you release your non-negotiables? She has this thing that they uncover in the video, in the documentary. It's called her non-negotiables. And it's basically, if you want to be part of her inner circle, like, you have to agree to these things. Not have a partner, not have kids. I mean, come on now. Like, they're pretty severe things. And even the private investigator, when she was asked, they're like, what do you think? And she's like, well, I think most of them are illegal. You know, and Teal Swan doesn't like hearing about it, so they just don't ever mention it. You know, you want the footage released from all of the hours that they filmed this documentary. Why don't you release the non-negotiables? Let people just put them up on your website. Let people decide on their own. I'm going to do a video about it this week anyway on my Peter review stuff, because people were like, oh, we love to have TV reviews. I now have so many damn shows that I could do reviews left and right. But anyway, people say that they will like my reviews of my TV shows, but then when I do it, nobody will watch it. Like, that's the truth right there, okay? So yeah, so on the heels of watching Under the Banner of Heaven, which is about the LDS Church, which it also got into, they didn't talk about the FLDS, but it did talk about, like, fundamentalist groups in there. I mean, that's basically what Under the Banner of Heaven is all about. And so it was interesting because Warren Jeffs and his father in the FLDS is today, like, it's more of a current thing that's going on in the last 10 to 15 years. Well, Warren Jeffs is in prison now, and his father passed away. And I think this case, the last case happened in 2011, 2011, I think. And so it's interesting because it's not happening like in 1978 or 85 or whatever, like Under the Banner of Heaven did. But there are people that are still living, believing in all of this, you know? But then, like, I mean, I feel like I've watched so many religious documentaries, like Teal Swan and her spiritualism, Wild Wild Country that I was talking about. Little kids on their bikes with their mom and dad. The David Koresh stuff. Heaven's Gate on, I think that was on Hulu or Amazon Prime. I remember that happening. I remember those people, you know, Jim Jones. When you watch this stuff, or when you, like, learn about it, there's so many commonalities between this. You know, it was interesting because when I talked about Teal Swan the other day on my vlog, there were a few people that, well, there's at least one, and then I think they said something off of it, that were commenting as making a comparison to Teal Swan and Jim Jones. And I was like, I hadn't really thought of it that way. But when you look at the comparisons between the documentaries or the information they're putting out there, it's like, God, they're really right. Like, there is a lot of, it's really comparative to in some ways, you know? So, yeah. I'll tell you the shows that I have. Well, I have, like, an immediate list of shows that I'm going to watch next. And then I have, like, if something else comes out new, I'll watch it. But The Flight Attendant on HBO, I read the book by Chris Bohokjian or whatever. So I kind of thought about reading that. Hacks on HBO. Ozark. Grace and Frankie, because I've watched every season, so I should probably finish that. But I'm just not, like, I don't really have the desire. I'm not really super excited to watch Grace and Frankie right now. Midnight Mass, I want to watch that. The Serpent. Outer Range on Prime. I think it's about aliens. The Perfect Mother on Netflix. A bunch of you commented and told me I should watch that. And The Old Man on Hulu, which starts on 6/16. And I think that's with Jeff Bridges, and it looks great. I have this whole list of TV shows. La Brea, Clickbait, watched it. Cruel Summer, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond. Is this going to stop? I want to make sure. Love Victor. I do have to watch the new season of Love Victor. Midnight Mass, Squid Game. I still do want to watch Squid Game. The Servant, Yellow Jackets. I'm like halfway through the season. Dope Sick, Cheer. I got real bored of that second season. It's gonna stop. Hold on a second. I think I still had like 20 seconds, but whatever. Dope, Sick, Cheer, Archive 81. I had a hard time getting into Archive 81. Stay Close, Grace and Frankie, Ozark, Manifest. I started watching Manifest and I loved it, and then I stopped watching it. Black Summer, same thing. I loved Black Summer and then I stopped it. Harlan Coben Safe, The Eyes of Tammy Faye the movie, watched that. Beanie Mania, I think that's on Hulu. Euphoria, watched it. Paradise Hills, I don't even know what that was. You, I've never watched. And Station 11. So I kind of need to go through and like decide what shows I'm gonna watch from here. I like having my lists. I'm gonna put Yellow Jackets, Manifest, Black Summer. I'm gonna put those on my list of shows to watch. What else did I have on there? I don't really care about The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead anymore. I'm just kind of over that. Did La Brea get renewed? Because if it did, then I'll watch it. Did La Brea... Oh, it got renewed. Okay, so let's put that on here. I think it's La Brea, isn't it? I think the last time I said that, everybody made fun of me. I should know that from California, shouldn't I? La Brea. Clickbait, Cruel Summer, I don't really care to watch anymore. Oh, Love, Victor, I need to put that on my show. Okay. I didn't really hear anybody say anything about the second season of Love, Victor, so maybe it wasn't very good. Up, Squid Game and The Serpent. Those are two that I want to watch. The Servant. You guys, I have 16 shows I have to watch now. I don't really want to watch Dope Sick, although so many people said it was so good. We read the book for True Crime Book Club. I don't know how they would have turned that book into a movie or TV show. Dope Sick, Archive 81, I'll put this on there. You know, here's the deal. I know that people are probably like, Pierre, you're in recovery and you talk so much about addiction and like Dope Sick is such an important show for you. Sometimes it's really hard for me to watch movies or like TV shows. I have to almost kind of be disconnected a little bit to watch movies or TV shows that have a lot to do with like hardcore addiction, because it's so hard for me to just be like, I don't know, I live it, you know? I live it. I live having friends of mine that die, having friends of mine in active addiction. So to watch a show like that sometimes to me is not just watching a show. Sometimes to me it's, you know, it feels too familiar, if that makes sense. But I've heard it's fantastic. Okay, let's see what else I have on here. Ozark. Beanie Mania. I wanted to watch that. That's about Beanie Babies. You and Station 11. Do you know, I can't believe I haven't watched You, since, I mean, everybody in the world's talked about that show, right? My husband loves it. What's funny about it is that I haven't watched it is that, like, I can remember the first year of the book, True Crime Book Club, that I picked it was You by Carolyn Kepnes because it had gotten such great reviews. And I remember reading it, and I thought it was good. I don't remember, I probably gave it 4 or 5 stars. I wasn't totally blown away by it. But then when I started watching, I got like through 1 or 2 episodes of it, And there was just something to me, and this is sometimes happens when I read a book. It's like, what is coming out that, oh, I know. Red, White, and Royal Blue is coming out. It's a movie. It's a young adult gay movie. Well, new adult gay book that was like fantastic. And I have it, and I have it on Audible, and I haven't listened to it yet. And it's supposed to come out on like Hulu or something, or Amazon Prime, like next week. And I really want to watch it, but I want to read the book first. But the problem is that sometimes when I read the book, the movie or the book either ruins the other one for me. It's not like I usually am like, I loved both of them. It's very few times that like I feel that way. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, I thought the book was fantastic. I thought the movie was fantastic. There were a few things in the movie at the end that I wished had been done differently, but I think the casting was so fantastic that like I didn't, like the movie to me was just as great as the book. Now Paper Towns, and it is a different story. I loved the book Paper Towns, and I loved the ending of it, and I don't really know why they changed the ending of it with Cara Delevingne. She's kind of lost her mind, hasn't she? Has she, or is it all a joke? Like, that's what I don't know. But I loved the ending in the book, so I didn't understand why they changed the ending in the book for the way that they did it. It didn't make any sense to me, and it would have it wasn't like it was difficult to film it or script it in a different way. So I don't know why they changed it that way. And it would have been just as easy to film if they had kept to what was in the book. I have to tell you, Looking for Alaska, that's on Hulu, I need to put that on my list. Even though that's a movie, I need to put that on my list. Because I've never watched it. And I read the book. I did not love that book. That was not my favorite John Green book. In fact, when people talk about... I did watch Stargirl, though, recently. Not recently, but probably a month or two ago. On the Disney Channel. It was cute. It's a Jerry Spinelli book, and I loved it. There's Stargirl and Love Stargirl, the two books, and they're really like, they're for middle grade kids, but they're really for adults. They really are, the concepts that are in the books, and I love those books. I didn't feel like the girl looked anything like I imagined Stargirl to look that was cast in it. Okay, you guys, I had to change the battery. The battery died all of a sudden, and I didn't even realize that it was anywhere close to the end. What was I talking about? I was talking about books. Stargirl. I just didn't feel like, I don't know. Stargirl is such a magical book. I feel like I didn't put this back the way that I had it. Stargirl is such a magical book that for me, and that's the thing, like when you really connect with a book, or vice versa, if you really connect with a movie, and then you do the opposite sometimes. Well, I very rarely like watch a movie or a TV show and then read the book, which is why I kind of like want to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, because I heard it was fantastic. I heard it was really, really good. But very rarely do this week I need to get on the Audibles. This is the week to get on the Audibles. Very rarely do I like watch a TV show or a movie and then go back and read the book. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter, maybe. I do have so much of my time. Do I have other TV shows? Oh, this is interesting because the very first thing I have on here is Welcome to Plathville, TLC. So many people have been asking me if I am going to... Welcome to Plathville, Killer Carnies, which somebody told me I would love that show, and I can remember I watched like one episode of it, and I was like, no, I don't love this show. Leaving Polygamy, which I was just telling my cousin Caroline about this yesterday, and Euphoria. That's interesting. So we'll just delete that, because I don't need that. TV shows to watch. Oh, this is so old. When's this from? October 23rd of 2015. Let's see how many of these I watched. Breaking Bad. Y'all, I know you love Breaking Bad. Okay, I got through 2 seasons of it. I couldn't do it anymore. Sons of Anarchy, I never tried. Twin Peaks, I watched that. That was, oh my god, this is before the Twin Peaks reboot came out as Showtime. I have all these movies on here. Oh, Slaves of New York. I love that movie so much. I want to read you guys this thing. I want to see if I still had it on here. This is from April 23rd, 2013. So on National Public Radio, which I used to listen to all the time, I don't as much anymore. But on National Public Radio, they have this thing called story.org, right? And I've talked about this on here before. This is in my notes. I just had to I wanted to see if it was still there. I can't believe that my notes go back that far, but they're just like these 5-minute little excerpts that they do, and I think they do them on Sundays, actually. We should look and see. April 23rd, 2013. April? What day of the week of it was it? It was a Tuesday. So anyway, I was listening to this on story.org, and they put up these 5-minute stories, and they just tell about this, I love, this is one of my favorite things I've ever heard, that has ever impacted me in my life. And it was this guy, and he was telling this story about how he graduated from college, and his parents wanted him to go and get an MBA at NYU. He lived in New York. And he would, he had this piano that was on, wheels, and he would, a lot of you have heard this story before. The whole time in the background, they're playing the song, on the piano. He's playing it on the piano from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original, in a world of pure imagination. And so he's telling the story, and he's talking about how his mom and dad wanted him to go to, really his mom wanted him to go and get his MBA and all this kind of stuff. And so he had this money saved, or they gave him money or something to go and get his MBA, and at the last minute he was like, I'm not doing that. And he bought a box van that he could transport this piano on. And he went down the East Coast, and then he crossed over into Florida and went southwest. But anyway, at the time that they met up with him, he was in South America, and he had gone all through Mexico and all the way down and taken him, how are you? And all the way through, and got on a freight boat and all this kind of stuff, and he was going to go around the world with his piano on wheels and play for people on the streets, and that was how he was going to make money. And he had this thing on the top of his piano. They had this placard, and this is what they were talking about, that said, you owe it to yourself to do something remarkable with your life. And I loved that. I loved that so much, that it was we don't think of our lives that way sometimes, that we owe it to ourselves to do something remarkable. It's and remarkable can be everything from having a garden to, and I'm not comparing these things, but I'm just saying, depending on what your life is, to Joelle writing a book of poetry, or raising children, keeping a house, I don't know, going, getting your MBA, traveling around the world and making music, whatever makes you happy, whatever is success to you, you owe it to yourself to do that with your life and not just let your life go by. It's funny because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these planners that I have, and they're still doing rather well for the summer. It's it is so humid and hot today. I should tell you guys, if you know anything about barometer readings, which I don't, we'll look and see what, it says thunderstorms possible after 4 p.m. and it hasn't started thunderstorming yet, but it is 78, feels like 78, and it is super, super muggy today, you guys. Humidity is 82%. I mean, I'm drenched sitting here right now. But just even keeping my front porch looking nice, or reading a book or watching a TV show or whatever, it's like, no, those aren't necessarily remarkable things, but they're all part of living a good life and living a pure life, or a happy life, not maybe a pure life, but, or whatever that means to you, making a really good cup of iced coffee in the morning to me is sometimes doing something remarkable with my life. So it's like, how do you judge that? How do you judge happiness, and how do you judge doing something with your life that's remarkable? If you looked back at your life at the end of your life and you said, yes, I did something that was remarkable with my life, what would that be? What is that thing that you... Like, a lot of people ask me why I don't write anymore, and it's really interesting because I actually talked to my neighbor across the street about a possible cozy mystery series that we could write together, because she reads so many and I do too. And I was telling her about my idea, which of course is about an HOA, right? And so, but it's like, people ask me all the time why I don't write anymore. And I don't know, I think somewhere in the last year, I kind of decided that I was more of a reader than a writer. But there was so much of my life that I felt like I had to write a book, like I had to. And I can remember, this is when PP was still alive, when I finished my book. It was in April of 2014, and I can remember it was late at night, and I came out here and just looked up at the stars, and I was like, Mom, I wrote a book, And I can remember PP would, this our Chihuahua would lay, next to me every night as I wrote. When Alex went to bed, I would write for several hours, take him outside and whatnot. And it was never about publishing the books, which I did, or making money off the book, which I did okay. I did pretty good for a first, book published, especially by a boutique publishing house. It was nothing about that, and it's not the greatest book in the world, and it has errors in it and all that kind of stuff, but it was about the fact that, I wrote a book from beginning to end. I put a story together. I developed characters. I told something, I had something to say. To me, in life, doing something remarkable with your life is having something to say. That maybe in some way you impact just one person, Maybe in some way you make somebody look at their life or the things in their life and go, I never thought of it that way. That is enough for me, honestly. I've had many people in my life that I could tell them, I don't know, that maybe your sole purpose is just to change the way that I have thought or other people have thought by you sharing your story or what you've gone through. And I think that's powerful in its own sometimes. It's telling our story, telling our truth, and finally getting to the point where you're comfortable to do that. Finally getting to the point where you can be vulnerable enough to say, I need to share my story. I need to turn my, like Oprah says, my wounds into wisdom so that I can help other people. I think that's really powerful, And I did that with my book. I don't know that I need to write another book. I don't know. I don't have the desire to write a book the way that I did before because I did it. And I don't know that in evaluation, looking back, if it was more important for me to be a writer or if it was more important for me just to write a book. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm sure it does. It's just I did it, and I'm very proud of myself for doing it. No, it's not the greatest book in the world. But I liked it, it's it's interesting when people critique something of yours. I'm I have no difficulty in realizing that you put something of art out there into the world and people are going to be critical of it. And at that point, it really has nothing, you can't do anything about that, right? But when you hold on to something so tightly that you think that it is so perfect that nobody can criticize you, is crazy. But what's interesting to me is when people that don't like me, okay, from YouTube, let's just say, will criticize or come for me for my book, and they'll say, oh, this is the word, that doesn't affect me, that doesn't hurt me, that wasn't the intention of my book anyway. The intention of my book was to write a book, to develop characters, and all of that, and I did it, I did what I was I did what I wanted to do, and I'm proud of myself for that. So when people are like, oh, this book sucks and it's got all these grammatical errors in it, I'm like, you're right. Like, maybe it sucks to you, and there are some grammatical errors in it. Hell, I read mainstream published by Simon & Schuster books all the time that there are 30 and 40 errors in a book. I find them. I circle them sometimes. Back in the day, I don't know if you remember this, but like if you found errors in a book, like the publisher would send you like a free book. Do you guys remember that back in the day? But no, so I don't know that I need to write another book. I don't know that I want to write another book. I don't know for me that that's doing something remarkable with my life. I think right now, where I'm at, living the best life that I possibly can, staying peaceful and serene, focusing on prayer and meditation, and continuing to share my life with you guys, and hopefully helping just one person maybe each day, or once a week, or once a month, or whatever, is for me where I'm supposed to be. I don't know. I've really been practicing just being present, because that's so hard for me, you know, to just be present in my life and just sit. I would say I'm not at the point where I have to practice it anymore. I'm at the point where I just kind of do it. And it's always interesting to me, like every once in a while. I think like on the last vlog, I got some comments and people were kind of like, you seem so sad in this vlog, or whatever. Can I not be sad from time to time? You know, I don't know. I'm not going to apologize for that. Like, sometimes when I think of the past, or I think about people that are no longer here, or, you know, whatever, I get sad. Sometimes I get sad. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I get happy. You know, it had to have been the last vlog, because it was the one that I was talking about emotions, you know. And it's like, I think we're so afraid. It's like, and I appreciate, and it wasn't like coming from a nasty place. It was like, I don't want you to be sad, but maybe that's where I need to be. Maybe that day I need to be sad. Maybe I need to feel that sadness. You know, I think we're so afraid of allowing ourselves to feel feelings, real feelings, you know? Don't ever feel anger. You don't have to act on the anger, but hell, you can feel angry all you want. You have a right to feel angry. You know, and there's a thing called justifiable anger. I got to be careful, and I got to, you know, run it by my sponsor and friends and, you know, people like, is this really justifiable anger? Or like, are these real things that I have to be angry about, or whatever? But you still, even if it's not, you have a right to feel your feelings and be angry about something. And you definitely have your right to feel sad about something. But I think, you know, in the society that we live in, especially as a male that cries a lot, like, you would be surprised how many comments I get on videos where I cry from people, men and women, that are like, you are 50 years old and you're crying in a video. Like, that blows me away. Okay, I don't know why that blows me away more than a 50-year-old man showing emotion in a video. For me, showing emotion in a video or on the street or wherever is so freeing. The fact that people have issues with that, that's your issue, not mine. I am sorry that you are so, I don't know the word to use, but that you are so pushed down emotionally that you cannot handle your own emotions, that it bothers you and is uncomfortable for you to see any adult, let alone a 50-year-old man, crying in a video. Like, that's uncomfortable for you, then you need to deal with that. That's your issue, not mine. You know, and it makes me really sad for people when they leave that comment. I'm just like, I don't know how that looks to other people, but to me, you know, and I'm sure there are people that are like, I don't know, Peter, it does kind of look bad for a 50-year-old to be... I couldn't feel my emotions for so long that my emotions were eating me alive inside. They were eating me from the inside out. I was in so much pain. And I was, you know, doing things to take that pain and live it on the outside. That was not healthy for me. So if today I can cry and I can be happy and I can be angry and I can feel whatever feeling I'm feeling for the day, I'm very grateful for that. I don't want those feelings pushed down anymore because I'm the one that pays for that. And so do the people around me, you know? If you've ever met somebody that is angry as hell and has never talked about their anger or dealt with their anger or why they're angry or anything, and they continue to push it down and push it down and push it down, they are straight up an a-hole, okay? And they are mean to everybody around them, and they are hurtful to themselves, and they're hurtful to others, and they live a miserable life. And then they leave comments on my videos saying, you're a 50-year-old man that's crying. No, joking. But seriously, like, it's like, don't you want to get rid of that? Don't you want to live a life of freedom? Like, don't you want to feel as free emotionally as you can? I want to, you know? Okay, you guys, I have to go inside to the air conditioning. It is so hot. I'm burning up out here. It's going to be a hot summer to do these vlogs. I'm going to have to turn these into some nighttime vlogs. You know, I was just saying this, thinking of this last night when I was taking Boo Radley out. We haven't done anything to our back patio. Like, our back patio still looks exactly like it did in, you know, the winter. Like, there's, the ferns are out there, that's it. But I haven't done anything to the back patio yet because it's like, it rains every single day for a little bit. So we have to take the cushions in or take them out or whatever. Anyway, we're making birthday plans a little bit. We're going to be here in town, obviously, for Alex's birthday and for mine. Alex's birthday is a week from Tuesday, I think. And my birthday is a week from Wednesday. For his birthday, I think he's planning his birthday that we're going to go over to a friend's of his house and have a bunch of people over, and he's going to do like a movie night because she's got like the setup outside. And then I think for my birthday, I'm just going to low-key it. And, you know, I don't know. If it's nice, go to the pool. Go see a movie if it's not. I want to see Jurassic Park. I really want to see, it's called Nope. This is a new horror movie, but I don't think it comes out until like July 22nd. Why can't I never remember that director's name? He's so fantastic. He's like the best horror director of our day right now. He did Us. It's like Blair or Blaine something. Ari Lester is the other one. Jordan Peele. I can never remember his name. I don't know why. Hold on a second. Give me just a second. I was looking up something about Jordan Peele. Yeah, have you guys heard of this movie coming out? Nope, I think. That's what it's called. Here it is, Nope. Caretaker at a California horse ranch encounters a mysterious force that affects human and animal behavior. It looks so good. Oh, Kiki Palmer's in it. She was a judge on Legendary. I'm so excited about this. It's got a great cast. Have you guys ever seen... Oh, he did a Candyman too. I don't know if I knew that. I feel like I did. I feel like I was just talking to my friend about that the other day. He is such an incredible, incredible director. Let's see if Ari Lester has a movie coming out. Ari Aster, that's what his name is. If he has a new movie coming out. Because he did Hereditary and then Midsommar. Okay, it's called Disappointment Boulevard, and it comes out, I don't know when. Disappointment Boulevard is an upcoming American comedy horror film written, directed, and produced by Ari Aster. It stars Joaquin Phoenix, Nathan Lane, Patty LuPone, Amy Ryan, Kylie Rogers. Doesn't say anything about it. Oh, here there's a trailer for it. set for Cannes world premiere, which they just had. So, all right, you guys will listen. Now you know all the news that there is to know. Sorry about that rambling. I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. So here's your Sunday evening. My favorite day of the week. I will be back to regularly posting videos tomorrow on Monday on my channels. I don't know if all my channels, but some of my channels. And let's see. If nobody else is... Oh, I hope that you are having a magically amazing Sunday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And that was a thumbnail moment. Or was it? Or maybe I'll find a thumbnail earlier in the video. Anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Remember these 3 important facts, 3 important things, ways to live your life. First of all, you can restart your day whenever you want. So if you're having a bad day, just say, you know what? I'm starting my day over right now. And second of all, practice random acts of kindness, just small ones. They don't have to be anything big. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And I hope you guys are having an amazing, magically amazing Sunday. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.